Yeah, look, I know, let everyone down. I know. I don't know what else I can do. It's time for payback. Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here. Welcome to our UBL. It says off season, right? Everyone has called off season, but for me, it's a brand new UBL season. That's the way I'm looking at it because we got all the bells and whistles. But yeah, welcome to a brand new draft league on the channel. We're back with the UBL. As you saw from the intro, last season, mediocre. I'm just going to touch on it quickly. Look, I came in thinking I could pick up right where I left off. FIFA was going quite well at the time. I figured the transition is not going to be that difficult, seeing as how we were like middling in FIFA, and we should be able to kind of pick it up relatively early in the UBL, and we should be able to perform well. That did not happen, like, at all. Like, there was just too many bad results. Like, you cannot win only 2 games. Like, for me, that's such an unacceptable level of standard, especially on this channel. That's the worst draft league season I've ever had. Like, ever had. Even, like, off this channel, it was the worst draft league season I ever had. It's just simply not good enough. And look, I won't lie, I was disgusted by it. So look, this is a huge redemption for me this season. Like, I do not want to be playing around here. I do not want to be thinking about what may or may not be. I'm not going to be promising any like big hoorays or big or like a parade at the end of the season or us going all the way. I just want to do better. Like, from last season was just not good enough. Like, pretty much I just want to do better, and hopefully we can. But this season is going to be slightly different, and it's one of the reasons why it's called off season rather than the main season, and that's because we are playing with low tier Pokemon this time around, and all low tier Pokemon only. A link to the tiers in the description down below, guys. Go check it out. You may or may not believe me when I say low tiers. You might be thinking, oh, that's like the standard tier 3 Pokemon, so like the Noivern's of the world and the Blazekins going to be allowed. No, we're talking proper low tier Pokemon here that are being used. For instance, one of the main Pokemon that was like one of the top tier threats in this draft was Tauros in tier 1. So that would give you an indication as to how low we've gone. Like, there is a plethora of Pokemon that you will not often see be used competitively. You would only really see being used in like a Let's Play or a Nuzlocke, that you're going to see being full on competitive here, and it's going to be really, really cool because there's certain Pokemon that just don't get a chance to shine in draft or competitive Pokemon in general, and they will shine here in this league, in this tier system. So this is going to be really, really good fun, and hopefully we can we can just cause a little bit of mayhem with it. Just 1 or 2 more notes here, you guys, just so you have an idea. Uploads, so every Sunday. So that's when we're going to have uploads. We're going to have FIFA on Saturdays, UBL on Sundays. When it came to the draft, because we were on such a low tier, we were switched into conferences, and each conference had its own draft pool. So that way, everyone was able to like fill out 10 Pokemon and fill out 10 Pokemon reasonably without having to dip too low into like the fully non-involved Pokemon knocking around. So, you know, keep that in mind if you go across other channels, and that's, you know, there may or may not be there may or may not be some crossover between different drafts, and that may have the same Pokemon. That's the reason why we're different conferences. Now that does mean we will be battling again with different conferences, but just to make it life easier for drafting, that's the reason why we did that, because we wanted to keep it really low tier. And as well, you guys, make sure to check out all the other coaches' links to their channels in the description down below. Go check them out. Obviously, tell them that, you know, they're in trouble because they're going up against a really highly motivated me this time. And I think we may have got our mojo back. I think I'm going to, hopefully you guys who have watched me regularly would be able to tell me that we've gotten our mojo back in the last couple of leagues that we've been in since our previous UBL run. So hopefully we can stick that and go from there. But yeah, I've talked long enough. You guys want to see what I drafted, what is going on, and I'm going to talk you through what I drafted, why I drafted, and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll see. Let me break it down. First pick, you guys, I went with Roden Fan. I went with Roden Fan first and foremost in tier 2. We were like somewhere in the middle of the draft, and I didn't like any of the tier 1s once Turos was picked as my first pick overall. I just thought like all the tier 1s first pick overall are just not worth it, right? Compared to what Roden offered in tier 2. Like for me, Roden Fan, I get it, right? Flying electric with the levitate is like that does have a little bit of uselessness to it. But for me, you're getting a ground immunity, you're getting a full switcher, you're getting a defogger, you're getting a relatively very bulky Pokemon. Like, don't forget, Roden Fan's got the same bulk as Roden Wash, as Roden Mow, as Roden Heat. Like, it has all of that as well. It's just the typing and the ability is just redundant. But, like, we get all of that kind of, like, utility. Granted, we don't get Hurricane. It'd be nice if we did on Roden Fan, but we get Air Slash and pivoting kind of shenanigans there. And I felt for that kind of utility and this low down in the tiers, that's very valuable. And granted, you can get like some really like some small broken stuff knocking around here. I felt getting that utility, like there's going to be next to no one with the same with that level of utility that Roden Fan can provide. So I was like, yeah, give me that nasty plow, give me that defogger, and we can pick it up from there. Next up, you guys, I was looking around at what else to draft, and like again, shout out to my front office here, a huge help out. I'll drop them down. I got Rampage, Aquarius, and Hammertime Stone who are helping me out. Big shout out to them. They're a massive help. Helped me out with prep and with drafting lately as well. So over the last few leagues, so they've been a massive help to me. So give them a love, especially Aquarius. I link to her channel in the description down below. I'll put a link to Rampage's channel as well. Go check the two of them out. I know Rampage hasn't uploaded in a while, but Aquarius is coming back from her summer hiatus, so definitely go check her out. So we were looking around, and I kind of wanted a little bit of offense, and I wanted some spikes, and in tier 1 Frostlass was there, so we picked that up. Now the other main reason why I picked Frostlass up was speed. Like Frostlass speed at 110, that's elite speed in this draft. Like everyone is going to be forced to carry a Scaffer to revenge kill a Frostlass, so that is huge for us, the fact that we got that elite speed and we got a spiker. So it's going to be playing like a somewhat of a similar role that we have seen me use Greninja in the last couple of leagues I have been in with my Greninja, where I just kind of come in, force a switch, set up layer spikes, and just do that level, that constant level of chip. And not only that, but Frostlass can provide a good level of like offense as well, down at this low tiers with the Ice Beam and the Shadow Ball. So with those dual stabs and the spikes, that should be very, very valuable in this draft. After that, you guys, I decided, you know what, we're not going to get bulk, right? I figure there's so much bulk we can get in this low tier kind of stuff that we're not going to worry about bulk. I'm not going to worry about it. Like we can get a bunch of Pokemon that are not fully evolved, slap the evolve on it, grand. What we can't get is really good offense. So it's important that we get really good offense early and make sure that it counts. And for me, I saw one Pokemon that I was shocked that was lying around, and at cheap price as well. I think it was tier 3 if I remember correctly. I was shocked this thing was knocking around, and that's Absol. So like I picked up Absol, and this thing gives me a stab knockoff user, baton pass, so I can pivot around, sword stance, close combat, night I guess that night slash there as well. If I don't want to be run knockup, I will. Like I get play rough as well. Like that's a lot. Like that's a whole lot of coverage there for Absol for me. And I thought that's just going to work out really well with my Frostlass. Like Frostlass is not going to be liking too much dealing with the dark types, but my Absol can come in on a dark type attack, no problem. And can also my Absol can deal with the dark. Frostlass can deal with the with the fighting type attacks that Absol doesn't like. So for me, the fact that we can carry Absol and Frostlass means that we prevent any like real fighting spam on my team. And Absol as a wall breaker, like its attacks that is humongous for the slow down. So as a wall breaker, Absol's going to be killing it, and I can't wait to use it. Fourth overall pick, you guys, we needed water type. Water types have been picked up really fast, and I was going to pick a water type in tier 3, but all the water types I really wanted to use were gone in my last pick. Sorry, not in tier 3, in my third pick. They're all gone, so that's the reason why I went for Absol. But tier 4, my fourth round, I knew I needed a water type, and I figured we picked this one up. I used it before in my my Sun and Moon playthrough, and that is Wishy Washy. And I know what some of you guys are thinking. Irish Wishy Washy wants to lose his schooling ability. It's gone. It's worthless. But Wishy Washy can do a little bit of work here for us. Like we can run Rest Talk. We can Toxic. But the big thing for me is it's a fat Pokemon and come and take a hit and flip turn. And that is going to be really, really nice. Pivoting to Absol, pivoting to Frostlass. You kind of see what I'm going with here. Big fat bulky Pokemon comes in, flip turns, and just causes absolute havoc, and we can set Toxic up on multiple different Pokemon. And for me, that was enough. That was enough. Granted, it wasn't the most ideal Pokemon I wanted for my water type, but it does enough for me, and I was like, you know what, let's pick it up. Why not? After that though, you guys, like the main reason I didn't want to pick up Wishy-Washy is like I wanted a water type that set up rocks for me. So I needed a rocker, and I needed a decent ground type, and again, wasn't too many knockaround, bar this one, which was in tier 1, and it was one of my free picks. We kind of have it like an old school GBA style draft where 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 2 tier 3s, 1 tier 4, 1 tier 5, and 4 free picks with 400 points. So I decided to dip into my budget, and I picked up Steelix. And I was like, yeah, I'll take Steelix this late if it's available, because I got Pokemon that is incredibly difficult to beat. So you're going to have to bring fire coverage for that on the special side. And as I always talk about, Frostlass prevents fight and spam. I then have a Wishy-Washy and kind of come in on that and threaten anything out. Literally did not see a downside there to Steelix, so I was like, let's pick up Steelix. It gives me reliable rocks, and it's just going to be an absolute nuisance. Everyone's going to have to bring something that's able to break through Steelix, otherwise they lose. That's perfect. After that, you guys, I again went for more power. Like for me, I got loads. I got a bit of both. I got Wishy-Washy, Roden, and I got Steelix. They're all like both, but they're not passive bulk, so I was really happy with that. But I said, let's pick up more offense, and this was a Pokemon that I was looking at since this round 2, and just kept putting off. I was thinking, you know what, we could do this another thing. But this round, I said, you know what, we're picking this mon up. It is broken to slow down, and honestly, this is probably a Pokemon that I would suspect is going to do very well this slow down. So well, in fact, that it won't be as overlooked anymore in main style drafts, because this attack stats is bonkers, and that's Sock. I'll definitely be showing up a list of the stats there, as you guys can see. But Sock's stats, my word, like this thing hits hard. Like whoa, like just comes in, smacks things, more breaker prevents any sort of like ability nonsense that's able to slow you down, and like whoa, like you know that is going to be that's terrifying. And then so I have Sock and Absol that's able to just deal with like both of those weaknesses. Like Absol can deal with the ghost and the dark weakness. The ghost and the psychic weakness for Sock, and then Sock is able to deal with pretty much everything else after that. So like that dual physical fighting threat, it's beautiful. I'm already loving it. And having used it, it's going to be bonkers. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. But to be fair, after that though, guys, we did need bulk. We definitely needed bulk after that. So I kind of decided, right, we better figure something out. And shout out to my front office who suggested this. They said to go for Eldegoss, so I went with it. Now Eldegoss, obviously not a deep move pool whatsoever, but it kind of acts something similar to Amoonguss here, but just going to be a very low tier version of it, where it can come in, it can sponge a hit, and then with Regenerator just pivot around after that. So, and for me that was going to be quite important, because it just gives me another option to be able to kind of deal with some water type attacks and all that kind of good stuff, because water is going to be pretty prevalent in this draft, in this league. So I figured, look, why not? It just gives me a bulky pivot. It's going to be beautiful. After that, I needed a fire type, and I got sniped here. Won't lie, I was lining up Magmar. I was thinking Magmar is going to be fantastic. I didn't have enough points to get Magmortar. That was available. I just didn't have enough points at the time. But I figured Magmar is going to be beautiful because it's nice and cheap. It's a slow teleport as well as a fire type. It's going to be magnificent. But I got sniped by Root. Now, he's obviously going to tell you all that I sniped him like several times. Don't believe a word he said. If you wanted something, you should have picked it earlier. But he sniped me just before my pick for Magmar. So I had to change my pick there a little bit, and I went with Flareon. Now, most of you guys are thinking Flareon's not that great. Look, traditionally, I totally agree with you. Flareon's not that great. We have used a Z Celebrate version of as Flareon on the channel like way back when, for a little bit of laws, and when we were laddering down like NU or PU or something. But truthfully, Flareon isn't that great. But his Flareon special attack stat, you know, is quite respectable in this slow down. Like even though you're looking at physical stat, its special stat is very respectable. Like it's on par with something we're going to get from Roden. And for me, like that's going to be enough to be able to cause enough havoc. Like if we kind of run a special Flareon, that should do enough. And I thought to myself, that'd be alright. And I get Baton Pass. So I still get my pivot. I still get a fire type that's able to cause a little bit of havoc. And that's exactly what I want to do. Because it completes the Fire Water Grass core I have. And I think that's going to be one of the main cores we're going to need in this draft. Second last pick, guys, the penultimate pick. Just looking for something nice and cheap that is going to be able to do, that's going to be a little bit bulky. And I figured when I was discussing with the front office that, you know what, we'll just pick up Carbink. Because it's fairy type, it sponges a hell of a lot of hits. And the one type that is terrified of, steel type, is not around that much in this format. Because there's just not that many steel types. All steel types are normally really high tier. There's not that many steel types knocking around. So the fact like I'm going to get this thing for really cheap, gives me cheap rocks, and again it's another Pokemon where everyone's going to have to bring something to be able to break through it, otherwise they just don't, then that's beautiful. I figured let's just pick up Carbink and let's move on. And then the last pick, you guys, is going to be Meowstic, female Meowstic. The male was banned, but we're picking up female Meowstic, and the main reason why I did that was I kind of wanted a psychic type, because A was one type I was missing, but B, like back in like Gen 5, like, you know, back in Gen 5 when you had fighting, dark, ghost, or psychic, you like, what if you had 3 out of those 4 typings, that was considered like a very, very good core. And I figured being this low down, if I can get like 4, like each a good Pokemon in each of those 4 types, that's going to be like a good core where I can constantly just use and mix and match and just pick and choose which one I want to use each and every week. And I figured that would be very, very important, because if I can get a decent psychic type here, and for me Meowstic is a decent psychic type at this level. Like, granted the male gets prankster, but female is pretty decent. We're going to be able to like get some setup. We get a little bit of bulk as well. We hit a nice speed tier, which was one of the speed tiers I was missing, so I wanted to fill that out. And I figured that like this thing was going to be it. Now obviously if this thing doesn't work out, I have a backup plan. I honestly, don't laugh, but I was thinking about getting Abra as well as Meowstic, but I just went with Meowstic because it has that extra little bit of bulk, can set up a little bit of screens, where Abra is just pure offense, boom. And I know why you guys are thinking, Abra, seriously? Like, you know, that's just teleports away, right? But no, Abra does get offensive move pool and has a really high special attack stat. But no, we're at Meowstic for me, just gives me that extra little bit of bulk, and I thought that's kind of what we wanted more here, was something a little bit more utility, because our Ghost, Dark, and Fighting types is very offensive, so our Psychic type being having a little bit more bulk and a little bit more utility was going to be a little bit more tastier, and that's why I went with Meowstic. But yeah, guys, that is the team. Hope you guys hope you guys like the team. Thoughts in the description. Thoughts, feedback in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think of the team. Give me guys your predictions as to how we're going to go in this league. It better be better than 2 and 6 or 2 and 7, whatever it was. Has to be better than that, very, very least. But yeah, hopefully we do well, and hopefully we can restore a little bit of pride back in the jersey. Speaking of jerseys, link to the merch in the description down below. You get the jersey, you can get the mug, you can get the hat. Woo, boom, 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 boom. You can get the hat. Like, I'm doing a poor job advertising here. You can tell I'm not used to the advertising, but yeah, let me know. If you do go for the merch, you guys let me know. I would love to hear if you guys got it. I'd love to hear how it fits, all that kind of good stuff. And thank you so much for the support on the channel. If you do decide to go for the merch, I'm not used to this merch plugs. I won't lie, but I do love this jersey. I have to say, I'm finally glad I actually bit the bullet and got it. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think and all that kind of good stuff. Love to hear your feedback as always. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there today. I'll see you next Sunday for our first UBL battle, so make sure you tune in to check that out. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there today as always. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.